Oh no. What? Bank swizzle mode. Food has been acquired. Oh, look at the cat.
There is some totally normal computing going on.
Like hard locked up.
Hey everybody, Sesh Penguin here, and we're back with another video finally. This is, I guess, the second tech video that I've made after the very impressive Raspberry Pi Windows 95 adventure. But this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing the ultimate NAS build. Sort of, I mean. I found this bad boy on eBay. This is a HP ProLiant MicroServer. Let's open this up here. You can see this thing is actually pretty neat. We got 4 drive bays, 5¼ inch drive bay over here. And this thing is really small, very compact. Here's my hand for comparison. And I have a pretty small hand. And yeah, this thing is pretty freaking cool. If you got the inside, we even have, you know, it's enterprise when they give you the tools and screws right in the server. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. This thing has a AMD Athlon 2 Neo N36L, which is a dual core 1.3 gigahertz embedded AMD CPU from 2010. So it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it does support ECC RAM. This thing came with 1 gig by default, but I have 2 4 gig sticks on the way, so we're gonna upgrade this thing to 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is the officially supported maximum, though I think you can do 2 8 gig sticks and get up to 16 if you wanted to. But anyway, I have a whole bunch of stuff to put in here. We got some WD Reds to put in here. We got a nice boot drive. That's just gonna be a USB stick and that internal USB port over there. So that's gonna be pretty cool, but I don't have those yet. Those are all on the way. So I thought we would just take a look at this machine, boot it up, do some fun stuff. Now, I've already actually messed around with this quite a bit, so let me turn it actually here. Let me show you the I/O on the back here. We have VGA, Ethernet, 2 more USB 2s down there, an eSATA port, which is kind of cool. There's also an internal SATA port, so you can actually get up to 2 more drives in here if you stick them in the 5¼ inch drive bay. And we have 2 low-profile PCIe slot covers, and of course the little slimline power supply is right behind here. So let's turn this thing on here. And, oh, look at the cat. Let's turn this on. So I've been doing completely unproductive things on this, which you will very shortly see. Here we go. We got ProLiant. This is still I think the original BIOS. We're going to be upgrading it actually with a modified BIOS that gives us some extra features, like hot swap on those drive bays, which are by default not hot swap. I've actually installed Windows XP on here for kind of a good reason. Mostly, oh, one sec, I have to unplug this USB, otherwise it'll try to boot from it and be very sad. What we're gonna do first, at least here, is create a bootable BIOS update USB, which I think is just a DOS USB, so that's gonna be kind of cool. I also installed Linux Mint 9, so that's also from 2010, just for fun, just because that's a little bit of nostalgia. I messed around with that. It's installed with Wooby, whatever, the Ubuntu on Windows installer, where it installs the OS to a disk image on the NTFS drive. And we'll boot into Windows XP here, and we'll see if we can get this BIOS. So this is the website here with the modified BIOS. Hopefully this works. I have the N36L, which is the lower end CPU, but it should still work. At least I've read, and I'll put a link to this in the description. But basically, we're gonna upgrade to the latest HP BIOS, and then the modified BIOS, which will give us features like hot swap, I believe. It turns that eSATA port into SATA 2 3 gigabit from its, I think, default operating speed of 1.5 gigabit, something like that. You can also see I've messed with some XP theming. I just did a bunch of random crap on here just for fun. So let's plug the USB back in here and bring up the BIOS folder. And I already ran this setup once, but then I was like, I should probably make a video. So I'll run through that, just overwrite everything. Now what's interesting is that this BIOS flash tool actually brings up a web page with all the options. So here we go, we have the ProLiant flash update So I believe we just need to click HP USB key setup creation tool. Interesting. Then okay, just downloads it. Huh. All right. Well, there's our USB. Yes. There you go. And that will now reformat that USB as a bootable DOS with the BIOS flash tool. Okay, cool. So I think that has now finished. So we should just be able to reboot now with the USB plugged in, and we should be able to see, hopefully, an updated BIOS. Hopefully not a corrupted machine, because I've had some bad experiences in the past with updating BIOSes, especially modded BIOSes. I've bricked computers before, so we'll see. In theory, this should just boot to the USB and automatically go, and we'll see a C prompt once it's done. Okay, and oh, okay. Well, it did boot into FreeDOS, but oh no. Okay. What? Oh shoot. Okay. You know what it is? You see that tux paint? I think I should have probably formatted this drive. It said formatting, but I guess it lied, and it actually kept the original files. Oh yeah, look, there's like an Office ISO from when I tried to install. That's why .NET's on there as well. Huh. Okay, well, I think I should just let me unplug this first. Oh, shut this down. I think I should format the drive first, and then run that utility again. So it lied, it said it formatted. It didn't actually format it. And I guess it just got really confused with maybe long file names or something. Who knows? Okay, so we're booted back into XP here. Let's, yeah, so interestingly, the drive name actually changed, and they did dump a bunch of files in here, but we'll format this in XP. And what? Why is that text box so misaligned? Okay, I don't know. Oh, it's just a bunch of spaces. Okay, cool. Let's call that BIOS. FAT32, default, do a quick format. And let's go. I don't know if this makes a difference. This was formatted in macOS, so maybe. We'll let XP do, there we go. Okay, cool. I don't need that stupid web interface thing. I can just, go right here. Start. Do you really want to proceed? Yes. Okay, and it's done. Let's reboot. And these icons are amazing. Oh my god. The Crystal XP theme pack, as it says right there. Let's reboot, and hopefully that works. Also, it's now a race. I have food coming. I've ordered some food. What will come first? The delivery or the BIOS update? This isn't the world's fastest BIOS, so it's kind of in between a server, which takes like 10 years to initialize, and like a PC with really quick startup, which I guess makes sense. It's a microserver, so it has an in-between BIOS startup time. Oh, here we go. Very nice. Oh, the cat has jumped up. And there we go, it's a racing sector. Oh god, please don't unplug the server while it's performing a BIOS update. That'd be terrible. Hey, and there we go. Okay, so it's done. Hit the C prompt. We should just be able to, okay, bye. We should just be able to unplug this USB now, hit the power button, turn it back on, and we should now be running the latest 2013 BIOS. So this has not been updated since 2013. And there we go. BIOS 31 from 2013. And my food has just arrived. I got the notification. Let's go. Look, any good tech project has to be interrupted by food. Food has been acquired. Okay, so with that being a success, I think we can now go on to the scary part, which is the actual modded ROM file. So I guess this is the original, and this is the modded ROM file. So according to the instructions here, basically we just copy this modified ROM to the USB stick, and that's it. Just reboot again, and it should flash the modified BIOS. Hopefully get all that extra functionality. So let me plug the USB stick back in, and we'll do this live here. And you know what? You guys get to experience if the replace that.
If we brick this bad boy, then I don't think we will, given the fact that the original BIOS seems to have gone well. So, you know, it should be good, but I guess we'll find out very shortly here. Okay, ProLiant MicroServer, and keep an eye on that BIOS version. I don't know if that'll actually change with the modified BIOS here. I also believe, for the most part, the modifications is actually just, oh, and here it goes. Next, please. I think it's mostly just settings within the BIOS, and not like adding new features. Oh, it's done. it's done. Oh boy! All right, let's unplug the USB. So yeah, I believe it's actually just setting options that aren't typically available. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if it actually gives us access to that now. So we'll go into the actual BIOS setup. And oh boy, here we go. Yeah, we posted. We got a blue light, so we're good. That's it. You know, it still says version 41. So yeah, let me just kind of one-handed here. Hit F10. There we go. Oh yeah, we definitely got some new options. Awesome. So again, you can actually see some of the specs of the machine here, the Athlon 2 Neo N36L. I definitely want to buy an Athlon 2 sticker and plonk that on there. It's kind of nostalgic for me. Boot option settings, cool. Restore, I should probably set that to just always power on. Let's see here. Settings wrong, setting wrong values in below sections may cause system to malfunction. That's kind of fun. So yeah, I think we basically got access to everything here. That is pretty freaking awesome. We're currently in IDE mode. I need to remember to change that when we go ahead and install what. You know, I don't know if I've actually explained what I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna be installing probably Ubuntu server on this and then setting up ZFS. So that's gonna be pretty neat. Let's see here, we got some ACPI stuff. High precision event timer, cool. So yeah, lots of options, most of which not exactly useful for us or relevant, but that's pretty neat. PCI Express, you can, obviously you'll probably, I don't know, lower that because you don't need that eventually. SM BIOS, some USB stuff. PCI PNG, this is a completely new section. So this is the, this is the plug and play support. So we should now, in theory, have hot swap on those drives, which is pretty freaking cool. Chipset, this is also new. Memory configuration. We could probably break this pretty bad if we touch a lot of this. Bank swizzle mode. Enable or disable bank swizzle mode. That's a fun one. No idea what it means. You can also see the single stick of memory is installed right now. Cool. So that was Northbridge 2. Internal graphics. Interesting. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of settings here. That's pretty neat. Memory hole. Okay, that's probably some legacy feature, I assume. Wow, Southbridge. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, there you go. That totally worked. We now have all of these beautiful settings that really we don't need. Theros Nick. I thought this was a broad. What? Okay. NEC USB 3. Okay, so there's definitely some config options that are not relevant. Actually, I assume probably a lot of the stuff that's not relevant. And yeah, so there we go. We have the mod. You know, let's put into Linux Mint. Why not? Oh yes, the new crowd. Honestly, this is pretty cool. Kind of sad they got rid of this, but it was always kind of hacky. It just it lets you install Linux from Windows by creating a virtual. I think I've said this already. A virtual disk image on the C drive, mounting that as a loopback device, and booting from it, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, look at that classic Linux Mint, which, you know, fundamentally doesn't look that much different, which I think is kind of their goal. Cool. So I think once the drives I actually have 3 of the WD Reds already. And when the final one arrives and we got the boot USB, we'll get this thing all set up. Oh look, we're in a different space. I'm home now, and there is some totally normal computing going on.
An explanation. So these are the 3 plus 1 WD drives that were. So I had an old NAS that was on this motherboard in a different case, and I had a RAID controller, some LSI RAID controller. And so this is actually where I have a lot of my data currently. Now, I haven't used the NAS in a little bit, and of course I've actually moved this motherboard into a different case. And so I now need to pull the data off of this RAID array, and I'm actually transferring onto that hard drive. So that way I can then take these 3 WD Reds plus the new one I got, throw that into the microserver, and create our new ZFS array. But yeah, this is this is currently running rsync, copying all those files, and we have a very precarious setup with the hard drives just strewn outside the case. And that RAID card actually gets really hot, so I just put a fan in this, and I just plugged that in, and that's just an old 1 terabyte laptop hard drive. I think it's an SSHD, so it has like, you know, an 8 gigabyte cache module or something like that. But yep, totally normal computing. This is the interface of that RAID card. All the NAS drives are out of here now, so I just put some other random hard drives into this computer, into the RAID card, but it's kind of interesting. It has this WebBIOS utility with this whole kind of graphical interface, and it's kind of interesting, honestly. You can, you know, do all the drive configurations. Neat. Okay, so the RAM sticks actually just came in the mail here, so it's time. We got 2 4 gig ECC unbuffered DIMMs, DDR3. So I've just been pulling out the motherboard here out of the server. Basically, you unscrew these 2 little screws here, and then you pull out the little mini SAS connector. All of these various headers. There we go. Also remember to pull out any cables before you attempt to do that. And now the entire board will just come right out. There you go. You got your CPU, North Bridge, South Bridge, whatever. So the CPU is just soldered on there. Pop out the RAM here. Very good. There you go. So this is our old Micron 1 gig stick. We'll set that aside and grab our, there you go, Samsung. It is also an HP spare part, so that's pretty nice. And there you go. That's 8 gigabytes of RAM, which will be pretty awesome for ZFS. Now we just gotta put it back into the machine. Board is back in. Before we push it all the way through, we gotta start plugging in some of these cables here and do a little bit of cable management. Okay, so I just plugged in all the cables again. It's mostly just kind of color coded and keyed, so they all just kind of go into the same spot. We can push the entire board in, and then there are these little cable clips on either side that you're supposed to kind of shove the cables in. Okay, everything is in, and you just gotta tighten down the little thumb screws here. And that's the board back in with our 8 gigabytes of RAM. And last thing is to plug our boot USB back, and there we go. That's in. Beautiful. Now we should be able to close this back up. Awesome. Power cable. Got a red light, and but we got a blue light. That sounds like a good thing, and we got network activities. Okay, cool. So now I should just be able to SSH into this. Hey everyone, Future Station here. So this is the part of the video where I'd be showing you me installing TrueNAS onto the server and then setting up all the drives and setting up the ZFS array. But yeah, I actually lost the footage for that. So instead, I'm just going to be filling in here by showing you around the TrueNAS dashboard. So everything's installed. I'm using this NAS. It's been working great. You can see all the CPU and the memory and everything being used for ZFS cache. And you can see our storage pool that we have set up here with the 4 1 terabyte drives and the single boot drive. That's the 128 gig Samsung USB. And also, I do know that 1 terabyte drives really do not make sense, especially 4 of them. But I had a 1 terabyte drive already, or I had 2 of them already, and then I got another one, so I just kept with the 1 terabyte. Probably upgrade these eventually. Here we can see the actual ZFS storage pool. I just have compression enabled on the pool itself. No deduplication though, because this is not exactly the most powerful server. I'd probably want more RAM as well if I was going to go for deduplication. So this is the main storage data set that I have that I can access over SMB. And then this one's actually kind of cool. This is the data set that's used for this jail I have set up. And if you don't know what a jail is, it's basically the BSD equivalent of like a LXD container. It's like a light virtual machine basically, which is pretty neat. And so I have this jail set up that's actually running my website. So this server is both my storage server and also my web server. And here we can see me connected to the server, which it's kind of funny. macOS shows this as an Xserve RAID, which is definitely not, but that would have been pretty cool. And yeah, this is it. This is just the storage. I can access everything. I have all of these backups. This is, I think, probably what the next clip of the video is going to be, which is me restoring the stuff from the old RAID array onto here, which did take quite a while. So yeah, I mean, installing TrueNAS, that was pretty easy. I don't think I ran into any complications. It's been a while. I've put off editing this video, but there you go. On to whatever the next clip is going to be.
Ooh, it's unboxing time. So we have literally the cheapest USB 3 PCIe card I could find. Also a USB 3 to USB-C male to female adapter, so I have hard drives with USB-C, so this is gonna be pretty useful. I don't know if I've explained this already in the video, but the reason I want this is for both dumping stuff onto the NAS, because I have stuff on USB sticks and hard drives, so it'll be a lot faster over USB 3, and also for external backup, so I can plug in like a 4 or 5 terabyte external drive, and I can use that to back up the array. Okay, here we go. So in here we have the actual card. And there we go. I was curious what chipset this has. This has the VLI. I'm actually not sure if this is going to even work. This might suck. This might work. The other thing is we need to put on the included low profile adapter, since of course the back of this only has low profile. This is a pretty simple little device here. You grade USB 3 to USB-C. Now, one of the things I did like about this, because I know I'm going to lose dongles like this, comes with this little strap or whatever, and there's a little strap on there, and then there's a little kind of loop thing I can put this through and hang the USB off of that. That way I don't actually lose it. I think that's what used to hold the keys for this machine, which I don't have. And there we go. I just took out the 2 screws that were just here and here. And yeah, there you go. That's the full height bracket. And now we can just pop the low profile adapter, put the 2 screws on, and we got ourselves a low profile USB 3 card. Motherboard has been pulled out of the microserver, and we have it back on here. So we got the low profile card, and pretty much we should just be able to slot this right into this 1X slot right here. This is some proprietary extension, I think, for the remote management. All right, so just plonk that on there, and yeah, that's basically it. Now, I'm hoping I don't need to plug in this Molex. We're gonna see, we're gonna find out. I think it's only needed for this, is what I heard, and possibly for more power. I guess we'll find out. We're gonna be putting hard drives on this, so we might need it. We'll see. Okay, so we got the back of the microserver here, and basically this whole thing, this is like a clip. It just sort of comes out, flips down, and then we can pull out. Okay, so there you go. The card just slid back with the rest of the motherboard, and I just gotta throw the screw back on, flip this little kind of latch back on, and we should be good to go and boot and see if this actually works. Okay, so while the server's booting up, I just took off the top here. You can see the card all the way back there. But if it's not plugged into Molex, but if we need Molex power, there is one up here. That's meant for the optical drive that you can put in here, but I'm not planning on putting an optical drive. So we can probably, I don't know, remove the zip tie. It's kind of hard to tell where the cable goes, but there should just be enough length to pull this cable through and instead route it down here and into the card. It'll be kind of annoying, but if we need to do it, we can. So yeah. Yep, so the card isn't working. It doesn't even power on the hard drive. We still have to try at least put Molex power. So this is gonna be kind of interesting getting this cable. I need to cut this zip tie, pull the cable through, and then down and in there. It's going to be kind of interesting, we'll see. And hopefully that'll make the card work. Otherwise, this doesn't have FreeBSD drivers. Yay. I'm just gonna try X-Acto knifing this and hopefully we can get that zip tie off. And there we go, that zip tie is off. I'm not sure if there's, I think that's it. So I should just be able to somehow pull this through here. And there we go, that's the Molex cable out, and there isn't that much slack since that goes right into the power supply, but I think that'll be able to reach, hopefully. But now we gotta pull out this motherboard again, which is kind of annoying. In particular, this mini SAS connector is, I need to use a screwdriver to kind of squish the little metal tab, because otherwise it's kind of stuck in there. It's kind of annoying. But let's pull this motherboard out, plug that Molex in, and yeah, we'll try this again. So, you know, whenever you take the key, because remember this needs that special Torx screw, always remember to put it back in the door, because I didn't put it back in the door, and I actually don't know where I put it, so, uh-oh, I need to find that. Okay, emergency averted. I did find it. It was just piled over there. Okay, and there we go. Yep, this just barely fits and reaches. But yep, all the way back there. You can see the Molex is connected into the USB card. So we will plug everything back in, put this up, and hopefully it'll work. Hard drive is now plugged into the little USB-C adapter, so let's just flip this around here, plug her in, and see what happens, and hopefully the drive will power up. There we go. And hey, we got light. Oh yeah, the drive actually powered up. Let's go. And hey, look at that on the D message logs. There it is, WD my passport. SCSI device. Awesome. So that's it. That works. That USB card totally works. That chipset totally works on FreeBSD as well. You just need Molex power, which is, yeah, reasonable. So there you go. That is the ultimate NAS build, quote unquote ultimate. I've been using this machine for about just over a month now, and it's been great. Been able to back up stuff. It's obviously not the fastest thing in the world, but it's been pretty good. Sadly, I don't have any of the clips of me installing TrueNAS, so apologies for that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and all of that cool YouTube-y stuff. And there might be another tech adventure video sometime in many months. Who knows? Bye, guys.